Hey, can anybody see me? Is that a good introduction? I look a little greasy and messy, don't I? What's the best place? See, now that my carpets are gone, there's more of an echo. But where's the one place in the house you never want to leave dirty? And what's the one place in the house you do want to leave dirty? Now think about it. But as you think about getting dirty in the house, I am doing major renovations here. You know, I had the cats, right? And it still stank. And I said, you know what? I can hide the smell, or I can get rid of it or diminish it to such an area where I've taken off my carpets. I took down from my cement floors and I scraped it with a jelly that was supposed to take up 30 square feet, although I have, I think, 400 here. I would have to spend $400 to take off the grease, unless I'm a real idiot and I'm not using it properly, so don't forget about that. Or put in the new flooring with some guy for the same 400, 150 for the floor and someone to put it in. I wouldn't put it in. I'm a crackpot. I leave cracks all over the place. It's just like that. Because in my world, straight really doesn't exist. What is straight? Straight to the ace? Straight to the 5? It's from where you are to as far as you went. So have you figured out which rooms you prefer to leave dirty as to yourself? I'm talking about the body, you. Okay, yourself. Which room should you go out dirty? That would be the bedroom. Which room do you never? Okay, which room specific? Okay, because it's an A and AB room. It's actually an ABCD room. Okay, we all have an ABCD room in the house. That's why we have a room of 10 in sequel of the God. It is the shower or the bathtub. You don't want to go into the bathtub and into the shower and then walk out dirty. You want to go in dirty. So you come from the bedroom dirty and into the shower. But when you went into the bedroom, or when you went into the bedroom, or if you went into the bedroom, there must be a lot in the bedroom right now, and you come out dirty, it's because you're having dirty sex. You get all sweaty and grimy and greasy, and you take a shower after, and now you want to do everything because you got that out of the way. Thank God we got that out of the way. Holy mackerel. You get sex out of the way, you don't need it right away. Now you can go on. But if you need sex and all these things, you look at every fucking woman that goes by. You look at them anyways, but in a different manner, because you got what you needed. And I watch a couple of porn, trying to understand, are they faking it or are they not faking it? And you know, there's a whole bunch of ways to look at it, but at the end, it's pretty cool. I should stop smoking. You all know that if this video stays on YouTube for long enough, this will kill me. Especially if there's 20-year-olds that are watching. I'm 50. When I'm 80, you'll be 50, I'll probably be dead. They'll blame it on the cigarette. And then you'll say, look, Mr. Catpan said the same thing. At the age of 54, he knew no more as he opened the door to the heavens above. So we let not a cry for intimidation just to get on by through the portals, through the passage of this life where we went around and around. You see the way I'm going around? Isn't that weird on your camera? Because that's the way the actual Earth spins. And then it does a little of this, and a little of this, and a little of this, and a little of this. And at the same time, it's swinging around at the bottom, like doing a dance. But if you look at that movement of the day and the turn, and the cycle around the sun, what design will it make? Don't forget, cats, when they're in heat, They just gotta do it. Animals are just like that. And so are men. We were programmed to reproduce. But in the sanity of man's fate and the earth, how many should we have until we stop reproducing the extra to fill up the balance of this earth? And or will, in the next era of the conscious mind, will God lift up part of the ocean? Meaning, he will extend what land is in the ocean, making maybe the oceans deeper, but adding land onto the land we already have. And maybe connecting some lands so we no longer have to have the Suez Canal, the Root Canal. It's all about turning on and understanding the NEWS, North, East, West, and South. Give me the N-E, knee, birth. Give me the news. N and E means birth. E-N is like N gland, like the thyroid gland. It's the N gland. It's the passage gland, 1 plus 4. It means the one spirit of the 5 and the 4 omega delta, which is the 4 dice. The worldly dice of 7. What appears and what disappears at certain times. We have 6, 3, and 2. Then we have 2, 4, and 1. Then we have 5, 6, and 3. And 2, 1, and 3. Anyways, can't keep turning it. What's coming? It's something about this, the Razorback. I don't know why. Is that the Arkansas Razorback? And I do have a connection to Arkansas. Her name was Mary, I can't remember her name, but I do remember she was working with Bob. Hey, Bob, I got a load to pull. We're coming from Montreal to go to California. But she's leaving on a Tuesday. 3 days to get over there would bring me to a Friday, but it's Tuesday night and everybody's closed till Monday. So from California to Nevada, Las Vegas, was only about a 3.5-hour drive or 4-hour drive. I knew I can stop and get there on Saturday early in the morning in Nevada to have a couple of drinks and have a good time before I get in the truck on Sunday night and pull her into Cali and empty that load so I can turn around one more time. And when I got home, I had that extra day all the same looking for a load most of the time. So I was out partying. What a life I had, the best life in the world. I had the best life in the world. I drove them big rigs from here all the way to London, Ontario, twice a week to pick up the little monsters, pigs. I picked up the pig and I'm a Jew. I must have brought in thousands and hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million pigs. And you know what my father did to them at the end? He got them slaughtered. But I don't think it was a Jewish butcher. So we were allowed to raise the pig to get something out of the pig. Man got the bacon. So my dad got a little bacon out of the pig. That was the exchange for a Jew raising a pig, knowing it's against the Jewish law to even eat the pig. So why are we with the pig? So my father learned about the pig, how it moved, what it squealed about. And that's the way he became today. No, he's not a pig. It's just the whatever movement or squirrel that the pig makes, you learn, because I learned the same thing. I learned their sadness. I saw their happiness. I knew when they were cold. I knew when they were too hot. I knew when they were overcrowded. I knew when they didn't have food, and I knew when their pig shit had to be pushed down to the other side of the gutter, because sometimes they shit higher than the slats. The slats. Do you know what happens when you get a slat? Okay, let me show you when you get a slat. A slat is like this. Hold on a second. Slat is like this. You see we got these two boxes together, but what you don't see is the empty space because they're not one. So what happens is they put a bar in between it, okay? But on each side, on the bottoms like this, one up here and one up here, they make it a little wider. So there's a little space in between. And it's the same creation of the H and the I. You make the top and the bottom wider to create extra space, okay? Where am I next? Who am I? Where are we? You want to see my house, what it looks like now? There's that picture. Tum, 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 tum. Do you see The Mayan man, he's the little blue man with a blue mouth. He's a yellow and a blue mouth, and there's a little piece, okay, it's like a D letter for Delta that comes off of him. And then you got the eye, oh, the red eye, the red eye, the red eye. And then we have a Nachi. You see the double-headed girl? I wish I can show you. I don't have my stick. And then that's the exterior wall on the outside. Yes, I've got Pink Floyd's How Many Bricks on the Wall. There's 32 bricks. I'm thinking, okay, there should be, no, there's 36, excuse me. Where else is there? And here's the floor I have. That's my floor. I took off everything from the floor. Everything. Oh, there's my dust bag. And I can't show you, but everything is a mess in here. It's just so dusty. So dusty. Okay. 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 So what do we have? Man made a car called the Duster. What for? Why use that name? Because we dust in the house? What represents the Duster? Anyways, the car was like that. It was always lagging on the ground. Let's see if I got anything in my notes. So I told you that, oh, and I'm doing house cleaning, so every time I get between the tiles, because of my different fingers, the paper is able to go deeper between the tiles because they're spongy. And my nail, my formation, although you see this formation on the finger, you would say, how do you get it into that crack? Because the crack is not to indentation. The curvature between the two tiles, the finger puts it just right. And that's why when you see the Pledge commercial and they swipe the finger, it's because it was made. Like spider webs. When it gets wet, our fingers, it really sticks, you know. It's just like the spider who sat down beside her. But that was okay, she ran for the day. It did not run away. How about the Incy Wincy spider that went up the water spout? Water spout. WS or S&W, as it had to sway anyway. 1923 equals 42, and we know it's an angel. We know heaven has to have 8 legs, right? But the body counts for 3. The top, the bottom, and the middle. You now have the totality through a spider. It somehow, in a way, looks like this. Okay? This is the Christ. You cannot do a straight line. It must be W's at every corner. You have no choice. You have to climb. You're going up. You're not going straight across. So you go up and you go in. You go up and you go in. So you're going as close as fast as you could to the center area at the same time as getting up to area number 2. The inlet and the outlet. Number 5 is the passage. Kangaroo. K8. K8 together simplifies a very, to me, I mean, I'm just learning this, don't forget, is that the K, the letter sound, is an A. And putting the other A next to it, okay, is actually the letter B being an A. The reason for this is on the telephone, the number 2 starts with ABC. So if God is A first, B is second, but you can't be B because the B God has to be the A God too, because it's the two-world spirit. But it's the Spirit of God inducted into this world, but used by the two-world spirit. You understand? It comes from the one world in which it goes into the two world, and in the two-world spirit uses it as an inlet and an outlet. In the meantime, the current goes towards 4 and across to 6. And they work in sequence, the two of them. Where else am I? The word or letters of Y and N, okay, which can also be sounded as N, has a perfection number of 39 as well as X and O, the same way I told everybody about S and T. What does S and T mean? Okay, it's more concrete of a description. Last, first. Otherwise, it stands straight in your eye and it says stop. When the S comes first and the P comes second, there are 2 letters that connect in roulette, and they alone stand for a red 8. There is no red 8. So what does it is the red 8? So really want to know? It's part of Nibiru in the dwarf star. That's where it comes from. We have no choice but to pick those 2. If we wanted to go deeper, but deeper into our world, we'd have to jump over to Mercury and Venus. Mercury and Venus, okay, would not exist if man was not here. They would exist somewhere else. I'm assuming that Uranus would exist first. Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, 7, 6, 13, and 5 is 18, Chai. So what do we mean by all that? I don't remember. Now I have to check out the size of the pool table and the roulette numbers. They're rectangular numbers. And I believe the reason that they're rectangular and not square is because when you draw a line from connecting colors and you go all the way down, you hit the floor of the next number. Now, if it's not black, you can't go any further. Okay? So that made it to hit the floor. By making it the same size, it'll go complete angle to complete angle. But doing this, it will not. So that means you can have a break. The only time you can break the angle is at a corner. Only at a corner. You can't do it in the middle. Only at a corner, because what you do at a corner is you put a ball bearing here and you put a ball bearing here. Okay? And they're connected. Okay? And then in between them, you put the extra slant between those two ball bearings, so each floor and element that is connected can still have their same movement. At the same time that everything is connected, inside is a huge ball. A ball inside a ball. But the second ball it's in, it's a reversible ball. It's the outline of the world itself. It's like putting a mask on it, pulling it apart, and looking inside of a coconut and putting it back on again. Because the coconut has that white in it, and around the white is the coconut. So we have two rounds, one round protecting the other round. I'm trying to figure out what oh yeah, right. And that's what I think is happening to our Earth. That's what I think happens to our Earth. I think that our Earth has a special turn, right, to it, and we have a covering over it. And the cover doesn't turn with it, it turns under it. Okay, it's not always on one side, it's the cover that moves. So at certain times of the night, at certain places that we are, if we take out a telescope, we will not see things the same way as normally visioned. And obviously I'm not a scientist, nor am I a telescopic connoisseur, but ever since I was young, I've had this great vision of connection. And I'll give you one example. Let me light up a cigarette. I used to play pool. Well, I wasn't good at it, that's for sure. But I looked at the ball and I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how it was going to go in. I knew what the possibility was between hitting going this side or that side. So it's the same thing for the Earth. We're all scientists. Sometime 15 years ago, I heard a note that a group of scientists of about 1,000 went away to a place to do some scientific studies. But when they got there, there were 15,000 people. Does anybody know why? The reason there were 15,000 people is because they wanted people who knew nothing. They only wanted people who were inquisitive, who wanted to go out and look at things. And they'll give you a piece of paper and say, look for things like this, and like this, and like this, and what do you think about them, and whatever else you find. And when you have 15,000 minds thinking, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to connect. Once you put them all in the computer, they find you. Each one finds you one at a time. Maybe your memory is not large enough, but now that we have the computers, it's automatically large enough. Anyways, X and Y, okay, is a total of 49, which is eternal. Adam and Eve. X and O is 39, and they fit together. They're like one of a pair. 39 is 3 by 3 by 3, which creates 3 plus 3, 6 man. So you got 3 by 3 and 3 plus 3. So what you got is 6 and 9 is 15. Now you got alpha electronic, which is we're the electronic alphas. Alphas, omegas, epsilon. Oh yeah, big time, my friend. That epsilon is in the 6th position on the Greek letter sketch. Although there are other sketches in the 7 worlds, Doesn't make a difference. That's where it is. Am I right? Or is that zeta? Epsilon is 5. So that's the electronic world of zeta, EF. Instead of EF, it would be EZ, as, totaling 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 on the dice is like this. The total is 15. 555 or 159. 15 is the A and E world. Alpha electronic. We have this 3. Then we have this 3. One of the two. Doesn't really matter because after that we put the 2 on the outside and then it looks like a 3. But it is regardless because the 5, see my way I'm just turning the dice, and the 2. 2, 5, 2, 5, opposite sides are 7. But those 2 are inside the 5 because the 5 is full except for the 6, which the 2 extra centers that are added for the 6 is because it is the B world, this world, except the dice in this world is now placed like this, on this angle. So every time I turn this angle, right, the sunshine will now have 4 points. When I put it to this angle, the sunshine now has 8 points. When I put it to this angle, the sunshine now has 12 points. When I put it to this angle, the sunshine has now 16 points. And then I put it back to the original angle again, so it's 16 points, or the power of the alpha face, fa. In the song Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, it is the fa, 1 and 6 creating the P. 1 times 6 is 6, 1 plus 6 is 7. You have the spirit of 76, in which is, to start off, it moves over 1, because it starts at 1, then it moves over and it starts at 1. There's 2 corridors of 1. 1 and 6. Is that what I was saying, 1 and 6? 2 corridors. Right, so it goes to number 13. It starts from 1 to 12, 6 and 6 on the dice. Then it throws off the 1, because, well, how do I know it throws off the 1? Because when you start the Monopoly game, your first place is the Mediterranean, but the Mediterranean is the second position on the board, and you can't get there. So they move it over. So now what was once 1 to 13, 1 to 12, is now 1 to 13. And 1 to 13 means the second one would be the 2-1. Not the 1-1, but the 2-1. That's why it starts at 21, and add up all these numbers on the dice, it's 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 21. Add 1 more, 7, it's 28. 4 by 7, 28. 4 plus 7, 11. And it starts all over again. So let me see if I got this straight before I get ahead and show you the 8. So now we know that this is gone. We have counted the omega on the dice, okay? See this? This is the dice. 1 dice like this, and then I have to go ahead and I put the 5 dice with it. And that would fill up everything. And now we would have 9. So it's all about, you see 5? See 5? 4 is next door. So now what you do, okay, what you do now is you take a pen, and you can do it any way you want, but you draw it into the center. You can draw it over here, up here, you can do any design you want, but most often, more than not, what I try to do is I try to start it here. Okay? I start my design here, I go down here. It's no good because then if I go up here, I got to go down here and I double on this. And there's no double on the other side. So I could double 2 corners because I have an extra 2 corners on this side. So I would go up, and then I would go down, and then I would go up, and then up towards the 4 and all around, and it would create X and O. That's what it creates, X and O. 9 is the birth, 4 is the delta comparable to us, is the electronic God, okay? The real God is 2 and 1, but the electronic God is the 4, as man is the 6, and the connecting of 4 and 6, okay, with 8 and 2 is the heavens energetic paths. You see, Man's between this side and this side. Here's his head and his tail as he walks. See the way you can have walking sticks here? This is only a show, but there's empty spaces. Imagine if nothing there with a big X. Okay, so where were we next? Not to lose myself, which obviously I might. What number were we working on? Was it 39? Was it X and Y? Was it X and O? What was it? Y and N is 39. So you know what? Skippy Peanut Butter and Skippy the Kangaroo. Lassie lassoed the dog, the pirates of the Caribbean. The old pirates. Why were they pirates? What gave them the right to choose to want to be a pirate? How much and how many were against them for which reason of what? What caused them to change from a child of good and honor from the church as it was back in the 1400s into pirates of the Caribbean? What brought on man to start to do evil? It's because too many were making too much money too quick, and it catches on just like everything else in this world. We are not like horses. We don't have reins on us. Nobody controls us exactly to who we are, besides the secondary control of who goes where, who wants what, cash, money, and space. I'll take your life. Thank you very much. Why not understand the pirate? Why does he have the face that way? What cometh from a pirate who raises and is not scared, as he has died before? For a man in passion and love, who is a pirate, cannot have any passion and love, yet he is great for the passion and love for one who's dearest to the heart. Is that a pirate who is mean? I don't see it. The pirate, pulling in his boat, doing his own work. But what happened to old Tick-Tock? Tick-Tock. Why did they want to walk the plank in Peter Pan? What was the clock all about? Did the pirate have a lease on his boat? Did he have a lease on his home 300 years later? Tick-Tock, man, your time is up. I want your money, your wife, and your life. Get out of here. You ain't got nothing for me. I can make her have babies. I'll grow her up and control her, and then I'll own the space she's in, and nobody's going to take the space of someone else, even if I control her. No one has to know. Pirates. In the search of one, he still has the magic in his eye to explain to the lovely lady, you see, always acting stupid and drunk because he don't give a fuck. He has control over what he wants to do already. When you have control and it is worry, you're spinning around. But when you have destiny and a little alcohol, you are so much stronger to advance. But when you are down and out and you drink alcohol, you will be going down and out because you have nowhere to go but to turn inside your own mind. So we lift up to the next page. We have another pirate. Pirates versus pirates. Reason. Tell me why I made pirates. The month of the flower, he lifts the sword to the sky. Then he lifts his hand. And then Jack Sparrow speaks. They're pretty good together, the pirates, eh? How evil they may be, sometimes they work in conjunctions, just like the upper echelon and the evils of this world. Still, as in the movie, it seemed like he's always drunk, but yet he has a concerned eye taking a look to one side. One man who stands up who has seen it all, who has seen enough. And then we ended at the end with a beautiful picture, and this is the month of September, beautiful September. And what are we looking for in September? We've reached the day. Hallelujah. Wouldn't you believe it? That the day of the pig this year falls on the 15th of September. 15th of September. Could be wrong, you know. 114 days, May to June to July. to August to September 15. I think I made a mistake. Wow, then I'm going to have 2 dates. One for the mistake and one to make up. Well, anyways, let's figure this out. Let's go back in the calendar. August, July, June, May. Oh, maybe it wasn't May 20. Was it May 21st? May 21st, 10, 40, 50, 69, 73, 80 through 93, 103, 104. 104, 104, and we need 11 more days. Oh my God. I'm definitely somehow wrong, because I have the 11th of September, 9/11. Patriots Day. Wow. 8 days after Labor Day. Wow, so it starts on the 11th of September, and it ends about 7 days later. So, or 5, 6 days later, whatever the, let me get this straight. May 21st plus 10 plus June is 30, plus July is 61, plus August is 71, 81, 91, 92. 92 and 12. The eve of September 11th, but it starts on the 12th. And then it goes about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It goes as long as the period, female period, 7 days. Usually 3 days before and 4 days after is the way it can be looked at. That I'm a little off with. Anyways, Raphael, the bloody stamp. Raphael, 72, 86, has to leave a short little message. My house is a pigsty. My house is a pigsty. Oh, I'm not talking anymore because I'm tired. I gotta clean. Eclipse. I should write the eclipse also, right? I can't just think it in my mind. Right, there we go. Eclipse episode. 11th of September, Pig Day Danger begins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Passage of the 9th month, 9/14/23, 9/11/20. Entry of the passage, 1, 2, 3. Day of the passage. The face of the object seen. The connection between us seeing it and what's happening, and then over here it's in our world, and then the result is over here on the 18th. 1 and 9. Whatever's coming in, 1 and 8 is 9. It's an R, angel resident, but it can be anything. Now we can say, holy, holy, holy. Thank you very much, Raffaele. I am Raphael. I am the only messy man, crazy man. You know why I'm all this? Because that's what they told me in the comments. They said you're crazy. So I says, okay, put crazy on the list. Hey you, put hey you on the list. Hey buddy on the list. Well, I can't put that on the list. Oh, wait a second. We got this. The man who doesn't want to die from cancer. I don't mind if I die from cancer. I just don't want it to be lung cancer. But you know what's funny about lung cancer and cigarettes and cancer at all? When a cigarette causes cancer, it may cause it in your left toe. They only know where they take it out and see the nicotine. But sometimes when you die of other cancers, maybe it's all created from the nicotine. Our bodies, do you know how small the shit is? Do you see what this just does to your fingers and your teeth? If you don't think it's taking up space and solidifying and eating away because there was a life before, the plant must live on inside of you, calling the rotation of evolution. If you don't think you are not in danger, even if you don't smoke, but when you smoke, you can lose your hair because of the smoke, and it'll be all the smoke's fault. The mind can't breathe, the hair can't breathe. Another thing about smoking, sometimes you're supposed to get more intelligent because of the cigarette. And then more often you're less intelligent because of the cigarette, only because every time you shove it in your mouth, you've actually taken a toke to death. Sooner than later, of course. But, you know, as long as you can walk all your life and have air to breathe, I mean, you can smoke all your life, right? Who cares what we die from, right? What's the difference? Is there a preference? You die from cancer? Well, maybe it hurts a little bit more. Like me, I want to die from something while laughing, okay, and laugh so hard, it'll give me a head rush. I'll feel a little stoned. I'll say, boys, I'm leaning back. I'll be back in a minute. And I never come back at all. Raphael, Ronald, Mr. Tack Pans and Mrs. Tack Pans, I thank you very much for this 30 minutes of time. 70 to 86 in the constellation of Pegasus. That connects here on planet Earth towards 2 points of Baffin Islands, and none of it, and then, it's not that I'll have none of it, but that's the name of the place, and all the way up into the North Pole. But then again, let's not forget, has anybody forgotten what they're doing now? Does anybody know what they have done? Down in BC, up in BC, they want to create this big, huge new drilling home to transport more oil out of the earth. The oil is used for the cranks on the earth. Don't they know if they stall the earth will lose its magnetic activity? The oil is in the ground because it's like a coolant for the earth. Something has to cool the molten lava. Something has to cool something. I don't know what it's cooling, and I have absolutely no idea about if it works or not. But I know one thing. It's going to cause problems. Somehow, somewhere, everything causes problems. If you go to the store and buy something every single day, you have to buy a bigger house to put something in because you bought something every day. So something in and something out, there's always a problem. You know about the wind, don't you? The air takes up space. You know what I'm saying? When you run, if the air wasn't there, or if it was there, you'd run faster sometimes because it would push you, make you lighter on your feet. So where are we right now? What have we talked about? Where are we going? Talking about blowing in the wind. If she gets down, it'd be okay. She'd blow my wind anytime she feels like it. But for all those females who might not have liked that joke, and I said it really quick, I'll just say, you know, if it was you and you enjoyed it, well, then you're part of it. And I wasn't actually talking about getting down on me, okay? I'm talking getting down on the blow. No one understands. Of course not. Situational action, okay, that is missed is called the blow because it blew on by. You missed it. You weren't aware because you didn't care. Sometimes we don't have to care where we lose ourselves. We just have to care as to notice. Eventually you notice it becomes a coincidence and now a how come. Where have I seen it before? Anyway, there's a lot of things I can say, but for right now, Raphael has got to go back to his house cleaning. 7 to 8 Zex. Thank you.